Hello guys. As you can see, I got a microphone and a and headphones with an extension microphone, like you guys as someone requested. Thank them for they had the suggestion, and I actually considered it before, so before they commented that. So let's do this.
Are you alright?
This is so
I'm glad you're not
unrealistic.
hurt.
Undyne's idea. Oh. The ideas.
This kid named Tyler had the worst Pokemon card collection ever. It sucks. Just
Okay.
absolute garbage cards. Every page of his binder was just sad. Meanwhile, his friends had holographics, rare pulls, some really expensive stuff. People used to open Tyler's binder just to roast him. Bro, how did you even manage this? These cards suck. You got all the NPC Pokemons. Now this is elementary school. Kids in 5th grade. He realized all the 5th graders, they cared about these rare cards, but the younger kids didn't. They just wanted the most cards they could possibly get. So Tyler goes online and buys a ton of just bulk, useless, worthless cards. And he starts making mystery packs. 20 random cards in a sandwich bag, most of them energies. And he wrote on it, Mega Mystery Pack. I'm a genius. And somehow, during recess, the younger kids in the school would go crazy for them. They would sprint over to him. Hey, Tyler has new packs. I want to trade you for some cards. Oh, okay, I see you have a
Whoa.
Charizard right there. Well, how about I trade you 60 cards for that one card? Oh my gosh, what a deal. I'll take them. The kid gives him the Charizard, takes these random cards, and acts like he just won the lottery. Eventually, his collection is looking better and better, and the little kids had less and less rare cards, but a ton of useless ones. And I'm sure eventually these little kids realized what big of a mistake they had made, but Tyler at that point had moved to a different town and went to a different school. And honestly, is that messed up, or is he just an evil genius? You tell me. This kid
He's
named
an evil
Tyler had the
genius,
worst
and that's
Pokemon
what-
card collection ever.
You might think PlayHop is for kids.
Me at 5 years old, standing outside my parents' bedroom after a nightmare debating on whether or not I should wake them up. Me looking at the menu, knowing damn well I'ma get the same thing I always get. Look at this drawing I made when I was 6. I'm screaming. Waking up at 6 a.m. for school, waking up at 5 a.m. for a trip. When you get home and someone's eaten up all the food you've been thinking about all day. When you didn't get enough sleep and every little thing is annoying you. Kid, swallows gum. Dad, you know it's gonna be in your stomach for 7 years, right? Kid, me in online classes checking every 2 minutes if my camera and microphone are turned off. The look your mom gives you when you embarrass her in public and she can't kill you yet. 6-year-old me when my parents came to pick me up early from school to go to the dentist. My time has come. When you try to tell your parents a joke and they turn it into a life lecture. POV. You smell a smell that smell like a smell you smelled back when you were a kid. Me at 5 years old, standing outside my
I just want my vessel, bro.
Into the code I go, never to be seen again until chapter 7.
I just want my vessel, bro.
Into the code I go.
Donna's
Here are some things I dislike about Sonic the Hedgehog. First is
Okay.
Sega's lack of appreciation towards characters. There are a lot of beloved characters like Silver, Cream, and Mighty the Armadillo, and instead of giving us better backstories and games on these characters that were introduced a long time ago, Sega, you just keep introducing more characters for you to just throw away! For number 2, lack of
Okay.
consistency. For example, why in some other games like Sonic Heroes are Knuckles and Tails able to go super, But in Sonic Generations, Classic and Modern go super, and they're just cheerleaders. In Sonic Frontiers, at the final boss, why weren't Tails and Knuckles going super? Damn, Amy could've went super too! Next, Rouge being part of Team Sonic. Isn't she already a part of someone else's team? Where is Cream?
True.
Sega, you spend more time hyping up Shadow than worrying about the ones left in the shadows. Do better. Here are
They're just
some
trying their
things I
best. They're a
dislike
game
about
company.
Sonic the Hedgehog. First,
Mario
is
doesn't care about their characters. Nintendo doesn't care about their Mario characters. Just
So this Russian guy started a series where he would scratch a wall with a spoon one time for every follower he got, and what he eventually found on the other side might seriously surprise you. He started off with no scratches, and by day 3 he only had 41 followers, but within the first week his account went viral, gaining what I believe looks like 16,000 followers, and he had made sizable progress on the wall. By day 30 he had made insane progress due to his roughly 260,000 scratches, and it looked like he was actually celebrating something. At this point, after translating some of the comments, a lot of people thought he was trying to escape from some Russian prison, which actually doesn't even sound too far-fetched. On day 44, he had injured his hand while scratching, but that was not going to stop him because by day 54, he had done so many scratches that the hole was 44 centimeters deep, and on the very next day, he had finally scratched fully through the wall, but to his and everyone's surprise, the whole time he had accidentally been scratching into a random person's garage. So this Russian guy started a series where he would scratch a wall with a
At Sherpa.
In this world,
I thought the
it's
game
killer to be killed.
crashed.
Dude, I'm freaking creaming in my pants. Doesn't he turn to that? No! What the fuck?
No fucking way. There's no way.
I
There's
fucking knew it.
no fucking way.
Maybe that was actually
wait.
scripted. Maybe that was scripted. I think actually.
It is.
Okay, thank God.
Oh shit. In this world,
Pass me the knife, Chris. My bad.
You can't chase peace.
Unpredictable. Whoa. Careful, I'm not following a script anymore. Whoa. 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 This must be an odd.
Doom scrolling again, huh? You have things to do tomorrow. Go to bed. Now. Good night. Doom scrolling.
So, we're going down to the planet, we find the crystal, and we fly back up. Yes. Right. First time I'm seeing this planet though, who did you get the map from again? That would be Alexander Evil. His last name is Evil. Yes. Wait, isn't it the guy with the big curly mustache and a top hat? His magic is literally tying damsels to train tracks. We can't trust this guy. And trains don't even exist in this world. We have planet-bound teleportation magic. He just makes trains out of thin air and ties damsels to the tracks. What the? Gee, I've been looking for this crystal for a long time. I can't not take a chance. Oh. Inconspicuous cave we just landed in front of. And I guess we just have to go inside. Wait. It's a mimic. Well, that was probably just the wrong cave anyway. I'll look at the map again. Oh! Mimic. 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 Where the hell did we land? Hey Wiz. Yes? I haven't lived in this world for a long time. What is the evolutionary reason for an entire planet to be a mimic? We are never getting a map from Alexander Evil ever again. I trust Alexander Evil implicitly, and look where we are now. Oh yeah, and the reason I was absent for like 3 months.
This guy lied about making spicy Cheetos and he... Are you okay?
No, this stupid thing won't stop bothering me. Father, I love thou, dear father. Read me a bedtime story. How is your mind still melted? Just keep going.
Okay, well, this guy Richard Montañez was a janitor for the Frito-Lay company in the 1970s, and over time rose to being an executive at the company, and he claims he did this by inventing Flaming Hot Cheetos. He even made a movie about it. Only problem? There's no actual evidence that he did, and employees at the Frito-Lay company say he didn't, so...
Your ear's a funny shape. Get off! I'm gonna lose it! I'm gonna lose it! I'm gonna lose it!
Man, you've been pretty tightly wound recently. Maybe you should try yoga.
Yoga? Why, you little...
Hold on, please! This guy lied about making spicy Cheetos.
There's this kind of... Oh, wow. I never thought there would be a kindness... The Green Soul ever get its own mod. I never thought about that. Wow. 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 Oh wow, it's like a game. Check the burger. Whoa. This is cool. Basically, you can't attack. It's not really.
Alright, so this is how I think every D&D class would solve the trolley problem. You have your train, it's gonna run over these 5 people. You can pull the lever and make it run over this person, but this person wouldn't have gotten slimed if you didn't do anything, but you would be saving objectively more lives. You know, it's like a whole moral conundrum kind of situation. Barbarians, I'm assuming, are just gonna try to stop the train, like with their muscles. Like they're just gonna run up to the train and shove it, and the train's gonna stop moving. I think barbarians like have the triceps needed to make this work. Clerics are sending the trolley down this track, they're sliming this guy out, but then the cleric is just gonna revivify the one person that got slimed out. Rogues, I have so little faith in you all. There are 6 people tied up on the train tracks. That is 6 people that you can pickpocket with absolutely no repercussions. You are gonna have 6 people's pocket change in your possession real soon. You're excited about that, and then I don't think you really care which track the train goes down because you are like 7 gold pieces richer. Rangers, first of all, you and I both know you don't have any class abilities that help with this, but you also know that I feel bad for dedicated ranger mains, just a little bit. If you tried to shoot an arrow into the train wheel and be like, the arrow sticks in the spokes and it stops the train, I think you could convince me to take pity on you and let that one slide. So sure, yeah, arrow into train wheel, that works, why not? Monks are not interacting with the trolley problem, they are letting the universe take its course. However, they are gonna stand here and help these 5 people find inner peace right before they get slimed out by a trolley. I also think bards are not actually solving the trolley problem, no shocker there. But as these 5 people get run over by a train, they are going to get to listen to the guitar solo from Freebird. If I had to get run over by a train and I had the option between listening to the Freebird guitar solo and not listening to the Freebird guitar solo, objectively I think I would take the guitar solo. Druids, I am convinced that if you wild shape into a gorilla, you could just pick all these people up and run away with them. Gorilla just gives a big old ape hug to all 5 of these people and just carries them away like a big old bundle. Fighters, I think you're just actually making the decision between the 5 people and the 1 person. You don't like have abilities to do anything to the train. I think you just actually have to play along with the situation. Paladins are for sure going around to every person on the train tracks and judging their character and how valorous they are, and then the paladin determines who deserves to live based off of who is the most pure of heart and courageous or whatever. Sorcerers, kaboom! Something about the way the sorcerer mind works just tells me that they are just going to explode this train, and the train will never reach these people to be a problem. Just don't worry about how many people might have been on that train, just don't think about that. Wizards, I really didn't know what you guys would do, but these people are within 20 feet of each other. Wizards like Fireball. I don't know. I'm making the generic wizard D&D joke. Everybody laugh. They cast Fireball. Haha.
The floor is long. I seen a post asking, name a character whose appearance is like this and their power is like this. Basically godly. And before everyone starts naming Kirby, unironically, I'll go first. Patrick. I love you. Everyone's always saying, oh, SpongeBob's the strongest because literally he unraveled the universe with easily. But forget, after everything was erased, only 1 star remained, and its name was Patrick. And then he used him as flossing for his dental treatment? And who remembers that one episode when Sandy's little cousins came to town and were destroying everybody in arm wrestling, including SpongeBob, who was trying his hardest? Do you want to know what happened when they went against Patrick? He didn't budge. He seen something on the ground and beat all 3 of them without even trying on accident. King Neptune, the god of the Bikini Bottom, literally tried erasing Patrick, and he still was talking. I don't know what it is with these pink characters, but why are they always menaces? I seen a post asking, name a character.
Nice! Tails! Sonic, I choose you!
Oh, it's that mod. It's that kind of mod. I've played this kind of mod before. It was fun.
Sonic! Use Spin Dash! Sonic! I'm a Sonic trainer. I specialize in Sonics only. I have the regular Sonic, the female form, and even the 2 regional variants.
Sonic.
Well, I have a shiny Sonic.
That's Super Sonic.
You have a shiny Sonic?
That's Super Sonic.
I left my 2 Sonics at the daycare center for a while and they still haven't made an egg. I wonder what's up.
Here you go.
Nice! What the?
Hector's driving to work one morning.
What would you like to drink, sir?
Only your finest.
Excellent choice, sir. This is one of my favorites.
That's the stuff. Love me some vitamin D, protein, and calcium. And do I detect notes of 2%?
Indeed, sir. Very astute.
Bring a bottle for the table, please. What? Just another step on my journey to get jacked as heck.
So this 82-year-old YouTuber named Grandma Crackers who live streams Minecraft on YouTube to help pay for her son's cancer just got swatted.
My swatting experience. I was asleep.
Should I play Undertale or Undertale Yellow first? Undertale. Start with the original. No, play Yellow. It's the prequel. Dude, Yellow is a fan game. It's not even canon. Yellow is so beloved that fans consider it canon. Guys, OG has better soundtrack. Yellow has harder bosses. Undertale costs $2.50 on discount. Yellow is free to play. Enough! Which one has the better protagonist? Brisk for the win. Lover for life. Should I play Undertale or
Things you believed as a kid. It's having more freedom. So I could fix anything. Stay forever. Controlled by someone.
There are tons of Pokemon games, but have you ever noticed that certain Pokemon are useless in some and broken in others? Look at Slacking, for example. This big guy has one of the worst abilities known to man, but in Pokemon Go, there are no abilities, which means his huge CP stat makes him really good at defending gyms. In fact, a lot of Pokemon get better in games that either rework or just remove abilities altogether. Like in Pokemon Conquest, Eevee is super busted. Since your Pokemon are tied to warriors and they have different abilities, Eevee can actually let you move twice in a row, which makes it way easier to win battles. And same with Bulbasaur. You probably won't be winning many battles with him in the main games, but in Mystery Dungeon, stat moves and type coverages matter more than actual power. So you can just spam Leech Seed and win, although it's a bit lame. There are tons of Pokemon games.
Get Spectrum Fiber Power.
Here's some Sonic facts that you probably didn't know. For years, fans have always wondered why Sonic loves chili dogs so much.
Sure.
Well, if you didn't know, there's a good reason why Sonic is so addicted to them. Because if you ever played Sonic Unleashed, you probably know about Don Facio, the hot dog vendor, who's not only Jamaican but described as very sus in the game manual and also freely admits to lacing his hot dogs with secret herbs. There's more than just meat in them hot dogs. There's drugs! Next, Cream the Rabbit is one of the strongest characters in Sonic. Now, if you didn't know, it's revealed in Sonic Battle that Amy is always holding back until she takes off her rings that weigh a ton. Just like Goku and even Rock Lee from Naruto. But in Sonic Heroes, not only can Cream hold Amy and her rings, but also in addition, Big the Cat. Keep in mind, Big the Cat weighs 617 pounds, can pick up cars with ease, and Cream's over there throwing them at light speed. I thought she was just a kid. Here's some Sonic facts that you probably didn't know.
In Undertale, I always thought it was a really interesting visual choice to have monsters' sprites be purely black and white during battles. And while it may have been done for either the sake of saving time or as a stylistic choice, I always thought that a neat lore explanation would be that a person's battle sprite matches their soul color. Hence why monsters mostly appear as only white just like their souls, and with Frith's battle sprite potentially being red from the monster's POV. The main evidence for this really comes from Omega Flowey. Flowey. Flowey's normal battle sprite is just white, but when he absorbs the human souls, it gains color. As for Azrael, I think the reason why his sprite is still white is because he mostly absorbed monster souls, with the color of the 6 human souls being represented in the background and on his wings in Phase 2. In Undertale, I always thought it was a really interesting...
Bodega Cats, join them for a break. Bodega Cats, what'll they do today?
Underground poker ring.
So how does the Japanese Sonic fandom feel about the Western Sonic comics? Having been looking more into different...
Saudi house.
There won't ever be another Pokemon movie that hits the way that
You know your carpets are crawling.
I'm just gonna lock in and focus on the mission. We're not fooling anyone. The box is usually the problem, not me.
Falco, why does it say you're listening to Candy Candy on the start board? You weren't supposed to see that.
You're bopping the Vocaloid? Now is not the time. Bruh, I'm locking in.
Good Lord, man! I can hear it clear as day! Why are there ships coming out of the base?
What? A bomb has been planted at the base. Never in my life have I seen some horrific place on the field. I am beyond. Did any of you get any of it?
Falco, you are now officially the problem!
I'm just gonna lock in and focus on the mission.
Nobody was ready when Canada went from miles to kilometers, because after every speed sign in the country was somehow swapped to kilometers in a single weekend, a bunch of grandpas saw the new limit, 110, and thought the government just raised the speed limit to 110 miles per hour. So they happily floored it, and so did American tourists who didn't realize there was a switch, which now confused the cops, whose radar guns were still calibrated in miles. And obviously every car's speedometer had to change too, which isn't exactly a quick fix. So gas stations started selling little conversion stickers for your speedometer. Except now there were massive lines at gas stations, but for a different reason. When the pump switched from gallons to liters, the price dropped from $1 something down to 22 cents. And people just thought gas got really cheap. But none of that compares to what happened a few years later, when a bunch of people were having a nice Saturday at a racetrack on an old airstrip, because suddenly a full-size Air Canada Boeing landed right next to them, after a pounds versus kilograms mix-up left it with no fuel. Nobody was ready when Canada went from miles to
One of the most incredible facts I've ever seen. Let's imagine the 1 kilogram blocks on an ideally smooth surface. One slides and collides with the second one near a wall. The collisions are perfectly elastic, and no energy is lost. In this case, only 3 collisions occur. But it gets more interesting if we increase the mass of the first block. If it weighs 100 kilograms, it retains much greater inertia. Starts bouncing back and forth. And the small block, between it and the wall multiple times. In the end, we get 31 collisions. If the first block already weighs 10,000 kilograms, an accurate calculation yields 314 collisions. And the most amazing thing, if you keep increasing the mass of the large block by powers of 100, the number of collisions will always match the digits. One of the most incredible facts I've ever seen.
I load fast. I load faster. I am speed. I've got 30 pages open. Well, I've got 40. Amateurs! 50 pages! Yo, this guy's starting to creep me out. I have open! I load fast. I load faster. I am speed.
The toughest.
This level seems very simple at first, because it looks like I can just run across the floor and jump straight to the flag, but the entire path is covered by invisible blocks, so I'm trapped as soon as I jump down. And if I try to jump over the gap, the other side is just barely too far away. With there being nothing else in the level to help me, this jump seems completely impossible. But if I was able to activate one of these invisible blocks and still make it back to the start, it would create a platform I could jump off to reach the flagpole. The obvious way to achieve this is with multiplayer, but I'm gonna do it without any additional help. You might have known about this useful feature in the game, where if you barely jump too short to land on a platform, your position is adjusted to help you land on top. This is intended to make the game feel fair, as it makes jumps slightly more forgiving and doesn't punish you for being just a pixel off. However, this feature can be used to do some unintended things. Because if I slide off the edge of a platform while ducking and holding left, you can see that I start to fall. But since I'm moving towards the platform, it readjusts my position and instantly places me back up. By doing this slide and timing a jump at the exact frame that I land back on the ground, I'm low enough to hit a block but still get pushed back on the platform at the same time. Now if I just build up speed and do an easy jump off this extra block, I can clear this simple puzzle level.
These siblings were sitting at a Yankees game when they started stacking empty chicken buckets on one guy's head just for fun. At first, it was a joke, but then something unexpected happened. People all around them joined in, passing over every empty bucket they could find. And just like that, it turned into a full-blown moment. The stack kept growing higher and higher until it got so tall he couldn't reach anymore. So his brothers stepped in, carefully adding each piece, while the entire crowd stopped watching the game and started watching him, because no one had ever seen anything like this before. But suddenly, security tried to shut it down, and what the crowd did next is totally unexpected. I'll show you, but first, if you've got a brother or sister,
Press shift to come to me, soldier. But be mindful of your stamina bar, because if you fully... Oh my god, are you okay? Oh jeez, oh my... It was only like 10 feet, you shouldn't be this tired. All right, come to. All right, throw your first punch. Don't worry, I'll block it. Nice. Now, oh, again? Are you serious? Guys, can we get this guy an inhaler or something? Press shift to come to me, soldier.
Shaquille O'Neal broke so many backboards that the NBA...
Shadow won the race. Now you see, Shadow winning here isn't the big deal. The big deal is that they actually let Sonic lose. Sega let Sonic lose. Think about that.
Believe it or not, Sega has made Sonic lose plenty of times. In 1994, Sonic was punched out of his strongest form, Super Sonic, by a regular Knuckles. In 2001, he lost to Shadow in their first encounter, and even though he was using a Chaos Emerald, he still lost. In 2006, Sonic lost a race to Jet the Hawk. They did do a little bit of cheating, but he still lost. Then there's Sonic Unleashed, where Sonic lost to Eggman for the first time ever, and was taken out of his super form and thrown in the vacuum of space. In 2017, Sonic got the beating of his life in Sonic.
What started off as a small lie but then snowballed into, "This is my life now," I accidentally said "you too" when the Starbucks barista said, "Enjoy your coffee." But instead of cringing and walking away like a normal person, she looked genuinely confused and said, "Wait, what did you say?" My brain completely short-circuited. I panicked and blurted out, "I said I'll bring you coffee too sometime." She lit up with this huge smile and said, "Oh my god, that's really sweet. What's your name?" Now I'm committed to this insane promise. I came back the next Tuesday with a venti caramel macchiato. Her name tag said Emma. She was so genuinely happy she teared up a little and gave me her number saying, "Text me so I know this actually happened." I figured I'd send one polite text and let it naturally fade away. But Emma started texting me paragraphs about her terrible shift, her nightmare roommate Stephanie who never cleaned dishes and left rotting food everywhere.
I only said no more cake. Why are you like this, Rousey? Can we please go and open up a dark fountain so we can go see my boy Gerson? Huh? Rawr. Seriously, Susie? What the heck? I only said no more.
This is what 5 years of creating looks like. Freshly 16, I didn't really do anything, so I chose to give animation a go. But due to a lack of experience, I was striking nothing but mold. Given some time, my skills improved, but because I'm greedy, I also started video editing.
Today, I'll be telling you what to do if you accidentally bought a horse.
Huh? Word. Yippee or like whatever, bro.
I hate unicorns.
Grr. Wee. Huh?
Shut the fuck up.
Huh?
Did you know in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the Ultra Hand ability is named after one of Nintendo's oldest products? The Ultra Hand toy was made in the late 60s, where like in Zelda, you can pick up and move things from far away. And this isn't the only time Nintendo references their past as a toy company. In Splatoon 2, the bomb launcher is designed after the Ultra Machine, a pitching machine made for kids to practice swinging their bat. WarioWare Inc. on the Game Boy Advance has a micro game called Chiritori, where you control a vacuum cleaner with this remote stick to pick up trash. And, of course, Smash Bros. Has the famous Super Scope Gun as a usable item. But perhaps their most controversial toy can be found in Super Mario Land 2 on the original Game Boy. When you enter the Mario Zone, the last level is entirely built out of Lego bricks. But if you keep going further, you'll find a logo that proves these aren't actually Lego bricks, but instead Nintendo's own NMB blocks. These were a direct competitor to Lego, being much cheaper to buy and also having these rounded pieces. Hell, one of their sets was a working clock. They clearly had something in the bag. It wouldn't take too long though for Lego themselves to sue Nintendo for copying them. However, these NMB blocks had a design under them that were different enough for Nintendo to end up winning the lawsuit. Did you know in...
I guess we're all disappointed. Now hand it over!
Not so fast, Sonic.
Looky what we've got here.
We can't fight Sonic. He's our best bud.
Even I gotta admit, that was kind of cool. I wasn't really gonna leave you in that cave. I was just about to call for help. It would have sounded something like this. Help!
Whose grandpa's looking at BL right now? What on earth am I looking at? I might as well take some of this home so I can
so
study
see you later.